Grafting is a finishing technique that lets you sew together two sets of live stitches to make a nice, even, invisible seam for a straight top. You see it in several of my projects, including this adorable cat. I wanted to have a nice flat head to this cat, so I grafted stitches together at the top. First, you divide your stitches onto 2 needles. Of course, this piece is stuffed because we're finishing it off. Cut the yarn, leaving a pretty long tail. Place that tail on a tapestry needle, and now you're going to stitch following this pattern that I'll show. It's pretty simple. The working yarn, the tail, should be attached to the back needle. The first stitch that you're working with is the first stitch on the front needle here. And slide your stitches down so you can access them easily. So to set up, there's a little setup here where you do place the needle in purlwise on the front needle, leaving it on the needle. And then in the back here, you insert the needle knitwise through the first stitch, the corresponding stitch on the other side. You don't want to pull it too tightly. Don't leave it too loose, just kind of an even tension. So now here's the repeating pattern after that setup. It's a knitwise stitch on the front, and you slip it off the needle. And now insert purlwise into the next stitch on the front needle and leave it on the back needle. Purlwise off, slip it off. Knitwise, leave the next stitch on, back to the front, knit off, purl on, back needle, purl off, knit on. Knit off, purl on in front, purl off, knit on in back, and you just repeat that over and over. So I've repeated that pattern all the way across, and now I only have 2 stitches left, one on each needle. For the last 2, you do simply knit off and purl on the back needle. If you need to, you can adjust the tightness of these stitches. You might want to pull this end out a little bit, and normally you just poke your needle right back where that tail is coming out. If I'm finishing my kitty cat here, this already has like a little bit of points, just the way it ends up being shaped. I'm just going to do some horizontal stitches right at the top of my seam in the corner across about 1 knitted stitch, just to bring that ear up a little bit. Poke it through and do the other side. That's if you want to add some cat ears to your grafted stitches.